The question says, I'm a health professional. Should I learn multitudes of techniques, or will the unseen therapist, optimal EFT, suffice? Well, first of all, I've got a few notes here, so let me refer to them. But first of all, I don't use anything else. The only thing I use for healing purposes is the unseen therapist, optimal EFT. That being said, I must also tell you that my skills with the unseen therapist, like everybody else learning these skills, is not perfected yet. For example, I do not know how to use the unseen therapist to fix a broken bone that somebody may have, where the bone's sticking out of the skin and that kind of thing. Doesn't mean it can't be done with unseen therapists, but my skills have not elevated to that level. But let me give you some examples. There are examples where I use, and others use the unseen therapist in ways that the medical profession really doesn't do. One example was a few years ago. I was passing a kidney stone, but didn't know it. I had this intense pain in my side. I didn't know what it was. I had to drive an hour and a half to the emergency room at the hospital. The hospital didn't know what it was. They had me wait in the waiting room. They were going to have me see a doctor and have an MRI and all of that. In the meantime, people were working on me surrogately for whatever this issue was, because I had told some people that I had this and I was going to the hospital. And I'm sitting in the waiting room with this kidney stone passing, and the pain just vanishes. Just poof, gone. Within an hour, I still go through the procedures with the hospital. They take an MRI. They can see the kidney stone passing through this thin little ureter. And it was supposed to hurt big time, but it didn't hurt at all. Eventually, I never passed a kidney stone. They gave me a little strainer to urinate through for the next few days, but all that ever came out was little powdered pieces that looked like little black sand. It apparently just broke up all by itself, or with unseen therapist's help. But see, medicine doesn't do that. They may be able to do some invasive stuff, and they may be able to break it up with lasers and this kind of thing. But there were no lasers involved. There was only unseen therapists. Another case, I've got this on film, a picture, photographs. A man had a bicycle accident, and he had a hematoma, like a big, large bruise on his ankle, like black and blue like that. Used unseen therapist, and while typically that takes maybe a week or more for it to fade down and heal, the next morning it was 95% gone, just a trace of a little discoloration. I got tons of cases. I'll just give you one more. Lady with hearing loss. Using unseen therapist, the hearing comes back like that. Now, I'm not saying that happens with every single case we have, but the potential is there. And I would rather, to answer this question about, should we go do lots of things, or will unseen therapists suffice? I would rather master the one technique. I'd rather master that rather than spread my time going through all kinds of other techniques. The other techniques, by the way, at least the vast majority of them, don't involve the spiritual dimension. They don't involve God. God's a pretty powerful dude. And to leave him out of it is doing something, to me, inadvisable, especially as we're learning now how to corral this healing power that is within us.